What's up, everybody? Fred Richani, TSC. I like to bring some good news to y'all, but this ain't good news. This is bad news. Jon Jones, the current UFC light heavyweight champion, maybe the greatest MMA fighter of all time, arrested again. This time, according to TMZ Sports, for DWI and a gun charge in New Mexico. Here's the story. UFC superstar Jon Jones was arrested for DWI and a gun charge in New Mexico Thursday morning. TMZ Sports has confirmed that is today. Cops say they responded to reports of gunfire in Albuquerque around 1 a.m., and when they arrived at the scene, they found Jon Jones in a 2019 Jeep with the engine running and car in park. Jones denied firing the gun, but officers say he appeared intoxicated, bloodshot, watery eyes, and reeked of booze, and conducted a field sobriety test which he allegedly bombed. He also took a breathalyzer twice and registered over the legal limit both times. During the subsequent search of the vehicle, cops say they found a black handgun with a half-empty bottle of tequila behind the passenger seat. Ugh, that's not good. But wait, there's more. He was arrested and booked for aggravated driving while intoxicated, negligent use of a deadly weapon, and possession of an open container. We're told Jones was booked and released and has a bond arraignment court date set for April 9th. We're also told the probation John got for a strip club slap case has ended on January 8th. Jones has been arrested for drunk driving in the past. Back in 2012, he pled guilty to DUI after crashing his Bentley into a pole in upstate New York. John has spoke publicly about his issues with substance abuse, including cocaine, and it seemed like he was winning the battle. And they also mentioned, of course, he's won a lot of MMA battles, and he's practically undefeated. Yeah, so this is a bad deal. I've ranted and raved about Jon Jones over the years, raved about him in the cage, ranted about him out of the cage. Look, I care about people's well-being, and I hope the guy's okay, but if you're going to harm yourself, man, don't put other people in danger. And when you drive drunk, when you have a gun, when you're driving drunk with open containers, with a gun, okay, you're going to harm more than just yourself. And I think that's a pretty obvious statement to make. I think anybody around this country and the world knows somebody that's been negatively affected by drunk driving under the influence. And what can I say? I mean, the guy needs help. He can win all the fights he wants. He could talk about how he's, praising God and believes in Jesus all he wants. Look, it's not about what you say. It's about what you do. It is about your actions. It's like, hey, we can test every single American, and then Americans can't get tests. I mean, the reality is it's about your actions. Dana White can say, yeah, I care about fighters and all this other stuff, but if he's not testing fighters, for COVID-19 or anything like that, or giving details, I'm going to judge him negatively on that. And in the case of Jon Jones, look, there's bigger problems in the world right now than Jon Jones getting a DWI and a gun charge. There certainly are. Hell, his court date may be pushed given everything that's going on right now with this freaking pandemic. But this is not a good sign. And you think about it, like, being inside, being cooped up might not be the best thing for Jon Jones either right now. I don't know. I'm not trying to play armchair psychologist here. All I know is that this guy needs help. I remember a few years ago, he talked about how he checked into rehab, and then within a few days, he was already at a rehab. And I think some onus is on UFC here because they see Jon Jones as one of their few remaining money-making draws, a guy who is guaranteed to get, I don't know about this economy now, but before the crash, at least 500,000 pay-per-view buys or more, put assets in the seats. He was a guaranteed draw, so they kept propping him up. What they could have done is say, hey, Jon, we'll cut you. We'll strip you of the title. We'll block you from going to Bellator or anywhere if you don't go to mandatory rehab for 30 to 60 days. They could have done that. They chose not to. Instead, they coddled him. Instead, they said, hey, you failed a drug test, whether intentionally or unintentionally taken something. He did get flagged multiple times. What'd they do? No, let's just move your pay-per-view to another arena in another freaking state. And this is what happens. And look, I'm not saying Dana White's got to be his dad or got to be, judge, jury, and executioner here. Jon Jones absolutely has to take personal responsibility. But there is to be, it's like Vince McMahon. These guys wanted to take chair shots to the head. All right. But at some point, you got to have some accountability and responsibility, too, as an organization. And with the UFC having a number of resources, with the UFC having so many connections, I mean, I don't even know what a rehab situation looks like nowadays in today's America, but with everything going on. But the guy needs help. Whether somebody come to his house, whether they're doing it virtually, remotely, whatever the case may be. This guy is way too talented and has positively impacted way too many people through mainly his fights, but he's done a lot of good things too outside of the cage for him to just be another statistic, be another athlete that goes broke or dies prematurely or injures themselves and other people because of their demons. And look, we've seen this before. It's not just in MMA. It's not just in boxing. You see it with Dwight Gooden, a former New York Mets legend who I interviewed, who also, I think, recently had a DWI just even like 6 months ago or so. And he struggled with issues for decades. I mean, you don't want to see that with anybody, especially an athlete as prominent, as great as Jon Jones. Whether you like him personally or not, I think is irrelevant. Obviously, again, there are bigger things in the world than Jon Jones right now, but it is a sad story. You hope the guy gets help. And, yeah, at some point, I wanted somebody in the UFC to wake up and say, you know what? We're not going to book this guy until he gets some damn help. Until we get him some damn help. Granted, it might be tougher now with everything going on, but still, I don't ever want to read another story about Jon Jones getting arrested. I don't want to read a story about another athlete dying prematurely or driving drunk or going to jail or whatever. Like, I don't like these kinds of stories. I know most people don't either. Well, you shouldn't anyway. So, yeah, that's the deal, man. That's the deal. Money trumps all right now. And, speaking of money, UFC still trying to run events, still trying to also book Khabib versus Tony Ferguson. If you don't know, they had to postpone their events. There's been multiple reports of Endeavor, the parent company of UFC, laying off up to 250 people, if not more. And, yeah, apparently Endeavor now is in some trouble. And who knows, maybe the property of UFC will get sold down the road or go public by itself without Endeavor. But, yeah, a lot of corporate BS going on, a lot of craziness with Dana White saying, hey, if you're at risk, you're going to get coronavirus no matter what. And if it takes me out, so be it. So, I don't know. Maybe I'm losing my breath for no reason here, asking Dana White and the UFC to send Jon Jones to rehab and get him some help, considering they can't even help themselves right now with everything that's going on. But it's quite unfortunate. So what do you want me to say? I could bash Jon Jones. I could be pissed off at him. And obviously, I am pissed from a sense of anybody driving under the influence, putting other people in danger. Thank God he didn't this time around. But, yeah, could have. But you know what, though? We don't even know the details because people said they heard gunshots being fired. I don't know. It's a crazy story. All I can say is I hope and pray that Jon Jones finally gets clean, takes care of himself. I'm not saying that to be facetious. You look at the pattern. You judge people by their actions, not what they say, okay, by their actions. Hopefully, this gets better soon. But, I mean, we're going by near almost 8-9 years now of issues since his first DUI. And it's a bad trend. It's a bad trend. So, Jon Jones, please, man, get some help. Anybody close to him, Greg Jackson, whatever, get this guy some damn help. Whether you think he's a good person or not, whether you think he's fake or not, okay, he's still a person. Get him some damn help. UFC, do not book this man until this guy does some type of mandatory rehab program that lasts longer than a cup of coffee. We don't want to read about this crap anymore. We don't want to see this crap anymore. Whew. Beyond that, folks, I appreciate you if you're watching live. If you like this video, if you want to subscribe, please do. We do a number of sports updates. Just want to say I hope everybody's safe. I hope everybody's sound. I hope everybody's exercising caution. Thank you all so much for watching, for listening, for checking us out. Until next time, as always, enjoy the fights. And, John, please get some help.